Okay, we are live. Hello, I'm Derek, and just waiting a moment for Romaine to start. She may be a couple of minutes behind because I didn't realize until I started this that in order to host it, I had to download other software, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, it's up, and I'm here now. And anyway, there you go. So here I am. I just want to start things off by saying that we'll keep this a bit short because I got to do my holiday trolley after this. And also because we want people to watch the video. And when it's an hour, they're like, oh, I don't have an hour. Forget it. Despite the fact that we used to be on the air for 3 or 4 hours a day. So here we are. Romaine is logging in now, she just said. So we'll see her in just a moment. But hello, I hope everyone had a Merry Christmas and you're excited for the new year. I wish you didn't look so tired. I don't have any reason to look so tired, but anyway, there you go. All right, so here's how it works. Romaine will be here, and then we are going to answer your questions about the new DNR 2.0. More information is on our website, derekandromaine.com. You can subscribe there. We have 3 subscription levels, plus you can buy gift subscriptions for people. And many of you have already gotten gift subscriptions for other people. Thank you for that. That's lovely. What a thoughtful gift to give the gift of Derek and Romaine to, someone who maybe, can't afford another subscription, or you think might enjoy our show, but otherwise wouldn't give it a chance. So give it a try. I guess I have to invite Romaine again because for whatever reason, she doesn't have the invite. Okay. Inviting her again. All right, there we go. Hopefully Romaine will be here soon. And Ryan in Arizona says it's dark here. Yeah, it is dark here. Like the room is dark. Not really sure why. All the lights on. I think it's because it's pitch black outside. You guys are used to us doing these during the day. When we were doing this during the summer, and now it's actually dark outside, so it's super creepy, right? Although you can see some Christmas lights glimmering out there. Anyway, so the 3 subscription levels: monthly, quarterly, annually. Pick your poison. It breaks down to a little more than $6 a day on each of the. $6 a day, $6 a month. Oh, Jesus. No, it's about 20 cents a day, 25 cents a day. So you have to ask yourself, are Derek and Romaine worth a quarter? And the answer is yes. Not much more than a quarter, but a quarter for sure. All right, you can use the Q&A feature and buttons to ask your questions. And I guess we'll jump right into them while I'm waiting for Romaine. I have invited her several times, so we'll just have to see. I know many of you have questions, and we'll go to the first one. And it is from Julie. Julie says, how can we help get the word out on your new show format? Julie, that is a terrific question. If you are on Facebook or Twitter, the easiest thing you can do is retweet us or share our Facebook posts. If you don't normally see me or Romaine or Derek and Romaine showing up in your news feed, you can favorite us, which will make us more likely to show up in your feed. But you can just go to our pages and check to see what updates we have there, and you can share those around. That always makes a big difference, certainly in terms of helping get the word out. Also, if you were on our newsletter list and you got the newsletter, which I tweeted earlier today, you can send that off, email that to your friends as well too. But really, that's the biggest thing that you can do to help us out. And we appreciate people who evangelize on our behalf for sure. And we definitely want that and need that. Mostly because still 6 months later, I'm still getting emails from people this month saying, hey, where's your show? What happened to your show? So it takes a while for people to get the word out. So yes, the more you can do to help us out there, the better. Deborah wants to know if I'm wearing a first day shirt. I'm not. I'm wearing a DNR cruise shirt. I thought I should wear something DNR-y, but I don't actually have the first day shirt. Romaine does. although I think it's just like a production thing. But yes, there will be first day shirts for people who listen on the very first day. You'll be given a secret URL on our website, DerekandRomaine.com, to go to if you want to order a shirt that will identify you as a Derek and Romaine 2.0 day one listener. The shirts will only be available during a very limited time, and during that like a 24-hour period, and then it's gone forever. So if you're not a day one person, you will miss out. Andrew says, hey, bitches. Hey, Andrew. Nice to see you. There you go. Ed says, I like your t-shirt. Thank you, Ed. I think a listener made this for me and gave it to me. But anyway. And then with the Alaska cruise, we'll have some kind of Alaska-themed shirt for our Alaska cruise coming up on August 28th. Brad says, looking forward to the 4th, already in for a year. Fantastic, Brad. Thank you for subscribing. And to all of you who are here who have already subscribed, thank you. Thank you for taking a chance on us. You know, I was hanging out with my friend, Eric, in Los Angeles, and I was feeling a little down on the number of subscribers, very early subscribers that we had 2 weeks in. And he's like, well, how many do you have? And I told him, he goes, oh my God, that's amazing. Because basically you've given them nothing. They don't even know what time the show is starting. They don't even know how long the show will be. They haven't seen any proof of concept, haven't heard a review, nothing. And they're giving you money. So the fact that one person did that is miraculous, and that so many people did is great. So we're doing fine, and we've had lots of people signing up today. I think now that we've gotten past Christmas, it has picked up steam a bit, and I'm feeling good about where we're at. And I've said many times, it's hard to sort of give these two thoughts at the same time. But on the one hand, we don't need that many subscribers compared to our original audience in order to be a big success. 1% is all we need of our original audience to be successful. Okay, Romaine says she's waiting for her login, but she doesn't have an invite. But I've sent it twice. All right, hold on, everyone. I have to. Oh, God. Okay. I'll send it again. I don't know what's happening, but Romaine is not getting the invites for some unknown reason. I will have to invite her again. Okay. Hopefully now she'll get it. I don't know what her problem is, but anyway, there we go. Still waiting on Romaine. Anyway, lots of people have already subscribed. It's terrific. I really appreciate it. And every little bit helps. Also, many people have bought gift subscriptions, and that is lovely too. Dan says, have you guys thought of making a commercial type video that we can post? We are going to be doing some fun video things and more promotional things. We really haven't, other than our mentions in social media, we haven't really started aggressively promoting the show. And for those of you who already think it's been too aggressive, apologies, because the next, 4 to 6 weeks are going to be somewhat unbearable of us posting about the fact that our new show is up and going. But we appreciate you supporting us anyway. And still with Romaine. I'm glad that this is being saved forever. Okay. Anyway, so as I was saying before, though, our sort of the two minds. So we don't need many people to subscribe, only 1% of our original audience. So that's not a lot of people. But at the same time, if you're watching this, if you're hearing us, if you're one of the people that we interact with in social media, we need 100% of you to join us. So if you're watching this video, it means you're at least somewhat interested in our new venture. And I say, take the plunge, please, because we need every last one of you to be the foundation that our show will grow from. And Romaine and I have great big plans for the future, and they all involve you and having lots of subscribers. So please, if you haven't yet subscribed, subscribe. It's worth it because we are 100% subscriber supported, which means, we only get paid if you subscribe. So please, please subscribe. Thank you. And if you don't like me and you like Romaine, Romaine says the same thing. Please, please subscribe. Okay. Janine says, where can I get the first day shirt? We'll make an announcement on our first show on January 4th of the exact URL of where the shirt will be available. It'll be easy to remember. And then that will air during the 24 hours. And then that URL will only be active during that 24-hour period. So you'll get that then. Kevin has asked the most vital question. I can't believe other people have not asked it. Kevin says, yes, congrats. What time is the live broadcast? Happy, Derek. Jeffrey asked the same question. What time will the show be live every day? Our new show will be live every day from 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern time. That's 2 to 4 Pacific. When we used to do our old show in our old time slot, our 6 p.m. hour Eastern time was our busiest hour. The hour before us was Michelangelo's busiest hour. So this sort of prime time for us is from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern time. It'll also be great for people who are on the West Coast who want to be able to, download the show before they get in their car and listen to it on their way home. It'll be convenient for them too. So there you go. Kevin says, thank you. And that my hair looks great. Thank you. All right. I've sent this thing to Romaine 3 times and she still has not gotten it. And I'm not sure what the problem is because I've literally sent it 3 times. Okay. BP Cubs fan says, will Hedda be on the new show? Yes. I mean, we have reached out to Hedda to be a guest on the show. Many of your favorite people who were on our previous show will be joining us again. The focus will not necessarily be as guest driven because we will be doing 2 hours a day instead of 3 or 4. And the feedback we've gotten from people is that the number one thing they care about is the interaction with Derek and Romaine and the interaction with callers and other listeners. So that is our primary focus, although we know that people love Hedda and Adam Sank and Michelle Collins and all those kinds of people. And we will certainly reach out to all of them, plus other, celebrities that we like that we think will be engaging on the show. Well, Romaine says, hi, it's Romaine. I'm here, I swear. Romaine, I don't know what to tell you. I sent you 3 invitations, 2 to your Google Plus and 1 to your actual Google email. I'll send another one, I guess, one more time. I don't know what more I can do. I'm sending it to Yahoo now and to your Google Plus, and I guess we'll see what happens. I don't know. All right, I keep posting them. I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, Brad has a question as we zip through this short, fast video. Okay. Will there be commercials? What will we be listening to while you all are on pee breaks? Well, we will only be doing 2 hours, so we can probably zip through it without needing to pee. I mean, I don't know about Romaine, but I think I can go 2 hours without peeing. But we will also have, if we need to get a guest on the phone or deal with some technical thing or something, we will have some interstitial material that we'll do. Gay problems, Desperately Fucking Angry, Ask Derek Anything, Sexpert, that we can play that'll be, short, 2-3 minutes long, in case we need some off-air time. But it is 100% subscriber supported, which means there won't be commercials. We may, as time goes on, Romaine is here now finally. We may, as time goes on, if there are sponsors that we feel very passionately about, then we will certainly consider making that available to our listeners, but on a very limited basis. But we fought very hard to have Xbox be a subscriber or a sponsor of our show, and they were, and we were thrilled when they joined us. If we had an opportunity to have Xbox with us again, we certainly would not say no, because Romaine and I are both Xbox gamers. We love the folks at Sherry's Berries. They took an early chance on us, and that was a terrific relationship that we had for many, many years. So, if those kinds of people came back, we certainly would be happy to have them. But our show is subscriber supported. So we need every single subscription we can get, because that will make the difference between success and utter colossal failure. Okay.
That's right, Derek.
Oh, there's Romaine. I hear her.
You can hear me, but you can't see me yet, right?
No.
I'm working on it.
All right. Well,
I don't know why. I honestly cannot tell you why this is not working. I didn't get any of the invites to this thing in my Gmail. I only got it through my Yahoo.
Well, I want you to know, lady, that when I went to log into this thing, I had to download another software piece from Google.
Oh.
Google Voice and Video Access. So maybe that's why.
Oh.
Yeah,
maybe.
I didn't realize it either until I actually got here. Okay. Mike says, Romaine is the tech person for the new show, and she's having tech difficulties signing in. Lord help us all. Love you, Romaine.
Thank you. You're so sweet, like Jesus.
You are all sweet. All right, let's take a look and see the questions, more questions.
Okay, let's answer questions.
Lee says, do you think you will ever do longer than 2 hours like the old show was? 2 hours is not enough. Well, Lee, Romaine and I have gone back and forth about this. Most people did not listen to 3 or 4 hours of the show. I mean, like a quarter of our listeners did. Long haul truckers would listen to that much of our show. I think if we were broadcast over the radio, so it would be more convenient for truckers to listen for 4 hours without disruption, then I think we would do that. But the average person listens for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes if they have a long commute. And so it just felt like we'd be stretching to fill 4 hours, as we often did, you know. And we would much rather do a fantastic tight 2 hours plus do additional bonus material that will be available exclusively for subscribers as well. So there will be sort of extra material on top of our 2 hours a day. And we're working on adding other programming to become available too inside of our Derek and Romaine universe. So the more subscribers we get, we could bring in other hosts to do other shows or add in music shows or things like that. And so that's why we say subscribe, you know, which we really at this point early on consider an investment. You're investing in Derek and Romaine by subscribing early because you're investing in the future of what we're envisioning.
Right. And I mean, and here's the other thing too. I mean, there's always room to change. I mean, that's the nice thing about being our own bosses is that, you know, if we decide down the road, hey, we want to do a 3 hour show, guess what? We can. Simple as that.
Donna says, so much for lesbians are handy.
What the fuck? Listen, people, I didn't get the invite and I can't join without the invite. It's as simple as that. And for whatever reason, blame Gmail because it didn't fucking arrive.
Yeah, I don't know what was happening with that.
I honestly don't know. And I was actually here a few minutes early and I couldn't get it. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? So I apologize, but not a lot I can do.
No. Deborah says, I listened at home at my computer for all of the shows and repeats. Well, Deborah, about 27% of our listeners of our previous show used to listen to us on demand. You know, whether it was the way they always listen to the show or mostly listen to the show. And so we feel fairly confident. We know that it will be a hard transition because we don't have the backing of a giant corporation behind us. We are not installed automatically in the dash of your car. So there will be a barrier to entry for people to listen to our show every day that wasn't there before. But for almost a third of our original audience, they will be able to experience us almost exactly the same way that they were before. And in some ways better because all of our shows will archive now, not just the last 5 days. So when we get to the end of our first month, we're going to have 20 shows available in the archive. So the longer that you subscribe to our show, the more hours of content will be available to you to enjoy. And Romaine and I were meeting earlier today. We were talking about what we're going to play on the weekends. And she's like, which show during the week will we replay? And I was like, you know, we can replay all 5 of our shows from earlier in the week, all weekend long.
Right.
So people can get a 10-hour marathon going Saturday and Sunday if they want to.
Which is pretty awesome because, I mean, in a way, that's technology we've never had.
Right. So I think that'll be great. So I want everyone to know two things. One, don't let perfect be the enemy of the good. I know that this new show and the new format and everything else will not be perfect for everyone, but don't let this be a barrier to subscribing because it will still be good. Having some Derek and Romaine will be better than having no Derek and Romaine, for sure. And we are also going to have some new features that were not available before that I think some people will really enjoy. So I'm hoping that it all balances out.
Yeah, I am too. And I think it will. I mean, I think people just need to give us a little bit of slack so that we can actually go and do what it is we are trying to accomplish. Because, I keep saying this over and over again, but this has been a steep learning curve for both Derek and I in terms of figuring out how to make this work. And it hasn't been easy. It has not been easy even a little bit. So, just have a little patience with us. We're getting there. Every day we're making progress to get to where we want to be. And, without you, it stops. So subscribe and get your friends to subscribe too.
Right. All right, let's burn through some fast questions here.
Okay.
Dan says, hey, everyone, make sure you go to derekandromaine.com and register and then subscribe to the new show, and then we can chat live on the web. Yeah, if you're watching this, you can chat live with people on derekandromaine.com right now. Let's go to Lee. Lee says, I hope you're able to bring Katie along on the new ride. Do you think that might happen? If we get enough subscribers where we feel like we have a going concern here, then we will bring other people on board. But, if we don't feel confident that things are moving forward, like I'm not going to have somebody quit an existing job to join us if we think it's not going to work.
We can't pay her. We need to be able to pay her, Derek. And we need to be able to pay her a good salary because she lives in New York City. And, that's not cheap. And if you want Katie, then you have to subscribe. It's as simple as that, people.
Right. Yeah. Don't put the egg before the chicken here. You have to subscribe. And then when we get enough subscribers, we'll be able to deliver, many of the things you want. But, if you sit on the sidelines, you go, well, Katie's not there yet, so I'll wait until she's there. Look, honey, we'll never get there with that kind of thinking. Guaranteed. Okay. Here's a question from Io. Since all the equipment is in Romaine's house, will she be the producer, call screener until you guys have enough subscribers? So will the show now be called The Derek Harley Show featuring Romaine Patterson?
Okay, first of all, no, it fucking never will be. Thank you very much. Is this the Hate on Romaine hour? What is going on here? This is some bullshit. But I will be more of the technical producer and Derek will be more of the producer until guest producer until we can actually hire a producer. But we'll be working hand in hand. I mean, I think it would be unfair to say that, one of us will do all of everything. I think we'll both be working very, very much hand in hand to make sure the show's produced correctly until we can hire someone.
Yeah. And Romaine and I have different skill sets and different things that we do. So, we're both working hard to deliver the show to you. And I will not be afraid to get my hands dirty, where things need be on the technical side and vice versa for the things that I do. Romaine will not be afraid to jump in if we need another pair of hands.
No.
But that's how it is. Okay. Kevin says, will you be broadcasting together or from homes?
Both.
Yes.
I think both is the real answer. I mean, there will be times when Derek is at home in his home, and there will be times when he's in the studio. Our long-term goal is to move our studio to New York City because it'll make it better for guests and things like that, so we can have them in studio. And then we will both be, working in the city, and if we need to work from home because of snow or something like that, we're going to try to make accommodations for each of us to do that. But we're going to try to be together as much as we can to ensure that the quality of the show is where it needs to be.
Yeah, it's going to suck. The drive to Romaine's house is an hour and 15 minutes each way for me.
Yeah, it's brutal.
And that was about how long it was on the train, but the train was productive time. I could be online or read or sleep or whatever it was. And driving to and from Romaine's house will be unproductive time, which will be a real drag, sucking, 2.5 hours out of my day. Especially when we have so much that we need to do around the show. And I'm with Romaine. It would be better to have like a central location in New York City for both of us to go to. But I'm going to take the trip out to Romaine's house as much as humanly possible, because I know people really prefer it when the two of us are together. But I will have a hard line in the house, so it'll be similar to when one of us would be at home over ISDN, sound quality-wise. And then as a backup, Romaine and I are also working out the kinks of doing the show by Skype. So if I'm on the road for whatever reason, or the hard line goes out, or we need to do it from another location, we have a third way of doing the show together, a third capability of doing the show. So we're trying, part of why we've had like varying sound quality things is we're trying to work through every possible scenario technically before we launch. So we appreciate everybody who has patiently waited through our attempts along the way. Kevin says, you'll do great. I have faith. Thank you. Kevin. Jason in Omaha says, as far as the 2 hours, since you guys are in control, if the show goes well, you have the opportunity to run long if you choose to, right? It's not like you'll be getting cut off like before.
I mean, yes. I mean, feasibly, that's true. I don't know that we will do that for archiving purposes. But, yeah, I mean, if something is really exciting happening, like, I don't know, something's happening in the world and we really want to talk about it, we want to go for 5 hours or some crazy ass thing, yeah, we can do pretty much anything we want. We have a lot of flexibility with this new system. So, I mean, feasibly, yes. Realistically, we probably won't do it very often.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we'll try to stick to a hard clock just so that people know that even if they're not tuning in at 5 p.m. Eastern time, if they're tuning in at 10 p.m. Eastern time, that when they tune in for the start of the show, it will actually be the start of the show. I think that people will be forgiving if there's, if a big news story is happening and people really want to talk about it or something's going on in the world, then yeah, I agree with Romaine. Or if we're just having a great time, we want to go long, we'll go long. I mean, I think people will be forgiving of those kinds of circumstances. But in general, on a day-to-day basis, we're going to try to stick to a hard clock because reliability is important to people, dependability. These are the things, consistency, reliability, dependability. These are the things we are most focused on.
Yes.
And so because we want to deliver as high a quality experience as we possibly can on our 10-cent budget. Steven says, how can I pay more than $6.95 a VIP package? Well, I mean, you can buy you can do a year. You can do a monthly subscription or a quarterly subscription if you want, which, you're paying less per month, but you're paying, more upfront. Also, you can give a gift subscription. That is a great way to support us. And there is an option if you are buying a quarterly or an annual subscription that you can, make an additional donation with that subscription if you want to. And a couple of people have thrown an extra $10 our way. That's very, very sweet of them to do such a thing. It's not necessary. And part of why, I mean, Romaine, of course, is like, if you want to give us $10 more, give us $10.
You give me all your money if you want. I don't mind.
I mean, my feeling is that it's very sweet that people want to give us $10 extra. I don't think it's going to be the difference between our success or failure. But if people do want to express that, I appreciate it. My feeling is that it's sort of if you give a man a fish versus if you teach a man to fish kind of an analogy. You could give us $10 extra with your subscription, which would be very sweet. But if you really want to help us, buy a gift subscription and then give it to somebody that you think would enjoy our show or used to listen to our show in the past, but doesn't want to take on another subscription. And that will help us because I feel like, and I've always felt like with our show, is that when people give us a chance, they like what they hear. So if you really want to support us, get a gift subscription and give it to somebody in your life. Or there are people who have posted on our Facebook page who have already said, I'd love to subscribe, but I don't have an additional $6 per month. You know what? Be generous to a stranger. Give them a gift subscription.
Season of giving, Derek. It's the season of giving.
That's right. Believe, receive. So, I mean, that is my advice. But Romaine, whatever, you can send her a check to her house. She'll take it. She'll cash it. Don't worry.
And I'm not going to say no to any money. You can buy a t-shirt. You can buy a gift subscription for a friend. You can buy whatever you want. Just give us your fucking money. That's what I say. Woo!
Yeah.
I like money.
All right. We're going to wrap this up shortly by going over the strong details about the show. But Ed says, good luck with Skype. From experience with more than 3 callers at a time, losing people along the way is almost a certainty for calls lasting longer than about 5 minutes. Romaine, do you want to address the phone call aspect of the new show?
Yeah, so I agree, Ed. I'm not a huge fan of the Skype or even the Google calls and all that crap. And so we are actually, we've already ordered a Telos system for our studio, which for technical people or non-techie people, that's a really fancy telephone system that will enable us not only to have amazing sounding calls, but it will allow us to not have to worry about calls dropping or things like that. But the problem is that these things are literally made to order, and ours won't arrive until around January 20th. So the second it arrives, we will install it and we'll be good to go with calls. In the meantime, in those first couple of weeks, calling is going to be a little bit of a tedious situation. We may or may not be able to do calls some days in those early couple weeks. Hopefully we can. But just know, the calls are coming. We literally could not have foreseen the delay in getting the equipment to us. And it has everything to do with the Telos company. They're behind in manufacturing, and that's why the delay is there. But we ordered it. It's on its way. It's just going to be a little delayed.
All right. Chris has a question which is related to this, which I'll answer a bit, and Romaine will too. Are you nervous about the technology being ready? Well, two things. What?
I said,
Okay, so 2 things. One is I'm not nervous. One of the things that Romaine and I were pleasantly surprised to discover when we started looking at going out on our own is that the technology is fairly mature for what we want to do. There are not a lot of people out there who are doing what we're doing, which is a live show every day that's streaming on the web. Most people are doing podcasts, a pre-recorded half hour that gets posted once a week. What we're doing is somewhat unique in the space, which is part of why we want to be a success, because we think this is the future. That as Wi-Fi enabled cars are coming more and more on the market, that people will be able to stream all sorts of audio from the web that they weren't able to get in their car before, and that will work to the advantage of people like us who are early adopters. We were early in satellite radio. You saw that worked out. I was early at AOL. The internet worked out. I think I have a good sense about where things are going. I've been in 2 of the biggest technology success stories of the last 20 years. So I'm confident in my, ability to pick a winner. But there are also, as Romaine talked about a bit with the phone system, is that a lot of what we're doing is using traditional analog equipment too, because it is more reliable than some of the digital stuff that's out there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, from a technical standpoint, what makes me nervous is when we have to utilize equipment that isn't designed specifically for what we want to do, which is why over the last few months I've taken a lot of time and energy to really put together a studio with the right kind of technology. Derek and I have been planning contingency plans. We need a plan B and a plan C in case plan A doesn't work. And it's the plan C that is really the one that has driven me the most crazy from a technical standpoint. But again, it's plan C. It really is not the way we will operate very often. And it has been by far the most technically difficult. So if C is the difficult one, I'm not as worried, because I know plan A and plan B are much easier to make happen. So I'm confident we're going to be fine. There's going to be, here's the thing. There's going to be some bugs that we're going to have to work out here and there and a little bit as we go. But that's to be expected when you're starting something completely from scratch.
Right. Carl says, I will say that on demand on the Sirius XM player wasn't the easiest. Look, these things are tricky to work out. Romaine and I were meeting with ADD Jeff earlier today to talk about the downloadable version of the show. Here's the thing. When we launch on January 4th, the show will be streaming. We have a streaming player. You'll be able to listen through the streaming player. If you're already subscribed, you can go to DNR, to DerekandRomaine.com, click on the DNR Live page. That's where the player is. You'll be able to also visit our website through your mobile phone. And so you can stream it in the car through an aux cable or Bluetooth. You'll be able to stream it on your computer. Jeff is working on building our on-demand capability as well for downloading. There will be a streaming archive, so you'll be able to stream all of the shows on demand. And then we're also working on this download capability. Will we launch on day one with downloadable shows? I don't know, but we are. If we don't, it'll be pretty close.
Yeah, we're working on that because we know that that's important to a lot of our listeners, and we get it. I mean, we do. We understand, and we are working as fast as we can on some of this stuff. But you know, it's this stuff it's hard.
It is.
I don't know how else to say it. It is. It's hard. And
yeah, I mean, the technology is mature, but it's a lot of moving parts. So, but it's also the ability to download the show will happen before we have an app, because we consider, especially for truckers who will want to download 5 days of shows on the weekend before they go out on the road again. The downloading portion we think is more important than the interface of an app, because if you have a smartphone, you can visit our website and the player will play through your smartphone browser very easily. And so it's convenient to have an app, but it's not the same thing as the ability to download the show. And so that will be coming soon. Andrew says, I'm stupid. How do I download and watch later? Well, there won't be anything to watch because it'll all be audio. But we will be adding the downloadable functionality coming up soon. Romaine and I are going to be doing test shows over the next few days. And then we will have audio that will just be streaming routinely through our player in the couple of days leading up to when the show actually begins. So people will have more of an opportunity to see exactly how the streaming player works, and how they'll be able to listen a couple of days before the show actually starts. So, you know, if it isn't 100% clear now, just know that on January 4th, when you go to our DNR Live page, the player will be there. You'll be able to hear audio right away, and you'll be able to tune into the show 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific for our first show.
Yay!
All right. Yay. Kevin says, who are you doing this service through? Just wondering. Well, I mean, there are other companies that we are working with to do some of our back-end things, like the streaming. We're contracted with a streaming service that has a streaming software and all that kind of stuff. And they do streaming for, oh my God, huge players, CNN and people like that, like big time players. It's part of why we need every subscriber because, you know.
They're not cheap.
No, these things are not cheap. I mean, Romaine has spent thousands of dollars on analog equipment for us to do the show out of. We're spending lots of money going with the right people to do all of this right. And but it is, you know, when you pay your $6.95 a month, $6.95 goes directly to Derek and Romaine that we then go to pay for all of these things. So there is no middleman. It's us. And if you like us personally and you don't want to see us homeless,
please don't let me be homeless.
Give us your $6.95. That's our message. Okay, yes. Romaine, do you have anything else that you wanted to? Actually, Scott has an important question, and then we will wrap up. How soon do you expect to have rebroadcasts of the show? After the live show finishes.
I mean, honestly, within minutes of a show ending, like a live show ending, we should have the rebroadcast up almost immediately. We haven't practiced that yet. That's in the test that we're running this week, just to see how long it actually takes. But it should take. I predict it will take less than a minute or two. So it'll be very quick. So yeah, if you tune in for the last 5 minutes, you'll have the new start of the show almost immediately.
Carl wants to know about getting access to our old DNR shows for broadcast. We will not have access to those to make them available. They will not be part of our archive. And so, all of that is, in the past.
Well, I mean, listen, yeah, Derek is right. I mean, SiriusXM owns the copyright to the archive of our old show. I don't know about Derek. We haven't actually talked about this, but I think, if we were able to make DNR 2.0 a successful story, and we were able to go to the old company and offer them something for our archive, I mean, I would not say that I wouldn't be interested in buying out the rights to our old show. And I think, Howard Stern did it at one point in time. There's a history of people buying their copyright. So, I mean, I wouldn't say it absolutely positively will never happen, but it won't happen until we're a much bigger success story than not.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, and one of the things we did talk about too was, OutQ was the first nationally broadcast gay channel in radio history. We were a day one show on OutQ, and we lasted longer than any other day one show on the channel. I think that there's historical value to that. I mean, I don't think our show was historical in any kind of.
Come on now, Derek.
The material. But the fact that we were blazing a trail in some way, I think, has some value in that regard. And so my hope is that at some point in the future, maybe because there are several LGBT archives and museums that are popping up here and there and everything, and other like broadcast museum spaces and everything, or universities. It would be great if our old shows could somehow be made available to one of those kinds of nonprofit entities. For sure. That would be my hope and dream. But there you go.
Yep.
Andrew wants to know if your hair is still blue, Romaine.
Not right now. My hair is currently a very normal color. It's brown. But I would like to go back to blue very soon.
Lee wants to know when the app will be available. I mean, we're still in the development phases on the app. The real thing is that the only thing that people really care about with the app is the ability to hear the show. That's it. And since we did not have the download archive ready yet, that is a vital component of the app. I think people will actually, the kinds of people who want the app are more interested in the ability to download the show and listen to it later, like on a plane, or if they're a long haul trucker and they have periods where they don't have internet access or they don't want to use data. Those are the people that I think most want the app, because they want to be able to download the show. So until we have the download archive up, we can't finish the app. And so a lot of it depends on how long the download thing takes. And who knows? I mean, we could have an app within the next few weeks, which is probable, but it will take some time for sure. But Romaine and I are prioritizing the things that we think are the most important to people, which is sound quality, the ability to actually hear the show in as many ways as possible, and then the ability to download the show so that they can listen to it when they are not connected. All right, there you go. Right?
Yep, that's right, Derek. That's exactly right. Yes, I think you have it spot on. And I should also say that the with the app, because I've talked about, the different levels of subscribers and what we can do with the more subscribers we get. We may start with a very, very basic app that just allows you to listen to the show or download the show. But one of the goals that we have is, if we get enough subscribers and we have enough capital to hire an app developer, one of the goals we have is to develop a one-of-a-kind, extremely unique app for our listeners that will really be something to behold. And it all comes with the growth of this project that we've got. If we can be successful, the more successful we are, the more we can put back into what we're trying to do. I mean, that's the most exciting part for me anyway about this whole thing, is the ability to have the opportunity to grow this show and to grow our universe and our fan base and the listener interaction with one another in ways that we never could have done before. I mean, that's what's really unique about this situation. I think that's what appeals to both Derek and I about this situation. And it's the most exciting part. I love the idea of being able to develop a kick-ass app for our listeners. Like, I want to be able to provide you guys with that. And, you know, so that's one of our goals. And, you know, Derek and I are good with goals. We like to make goals and then achieve them.
Yes. And I mean, I just have to say, Romaine and I have big long-term goals, but we have fairly modest goals for our launch. And so far, we are on target for that. Like, I don't want people to be complacent, like, oh, they're fine, I'll subscribe in 4 months, no big deal. I do want to instill in people a sense of urgency that we do need as many subscribers as we can get to launch with, because that will make all the difference in the world for us. And then the second thing is, though, for people who have already subscribed, I don't want you to think that Romaine and I are in a panic, like, oh my God, we're not getting enough subscribers, it's not going to work. You know, people have been very supportive, very kind, and so far we are on pace to where we need to be for our targets. And I already told Romaine I'm not going to panic until the end of January, because I think we'll have a much better sense of what our audience is after we get the first month out of the way. It's still early. You know, people still don't even know what it is that they're subscribing to get. They don't really have a sense of, like, what is it actually going to be? How is it going to work? All those things. So to wrap up, I'll just say, Romaine, I mean, I really appreciate those of you who have taken an early chance on us. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe as early as you feel comfortable doing so, because it will make all the difference. But just know, the longer you stick with us, I said it before and I will say it again, it is an investment. You are investing in Derek and Romaine for every single month that you subscribe to our show. So you need to think of it as an investment. I'm investing my $6.95 because I want to build this archive of shows. I want to make it available for other people. And I want to see where Derek and Romaine can take things. You know, we've been fairly successful and we've thrown our hat in the ring. You know, Romaine said she was going to raise $100,000 for charity, that AIDS ride, and she raised even more than that. You know, we started doing these cruises. They have been big successes. We started doing remote broadcasts, and hundreds of people have shown up to see us in Dallas or Anaheim, all those kinds of things. I think we have a good track record, that we have strong instincts for what our listeners want, and we are committed to delivering it. So we appreciate you.
Oh yeah, we are.
Supporting us.
Sparta, Derek. We are Sparta. That's what I keep saying.
All right. Any final thoughts before we go?
I will just say I'm really thrilled that we get to do this, and I'm so thankful for all the listeners who are willing, like Derek said, willing to jump on board with us. You know, I've kind of compared this situation to like jumping off a building and hoping you sprout wings before you hit the ground. And the listeners are the wings. You guys are what makes us fly. And without you, we go splat. So thanks for being our wings and picking us up and helping us soar. And together, I think we're going to kick some serious ass. And I like that. I like kicking ass.
That's right. You're all feathers for Hawk Girl over here. Oh, Hawk Girl.
We are Sparta, Derek.
All right. So one last thing. The show starts Monday, January 4th, 5 p.m. Eastern time, 2 p.m. Pacific will be the start of the show. It will be 2 hours a day, 5 days a week. The streaming player is at derekandromaine.com. You just click on the DNR Live button. That's where the player is. Until we have audio loaded into it, it will say error, file not loaded. That is totally normal. It means we do not have a show in the queue, either a live show or a recorded show. But over the next couple of days, we will have, Romaine and I will at least record like a 2-minute looping message that says the player's working, everything is fine, just so that people are confident that it is working, and I will stop getting panicked emails from people about it. And the shows will be available for download as soon as we can make that available. Hopefully, in the first week that will be available, but you know, we'll just have to see how it goes. The only thing I could promise is that on January 4th at 5 p.m. Eastern time, Romaine and I will be doing our thing live, and
Hell
we hope you will be there.
Yes, we will. And also, don't forget the day one T-shirt will go up for sale on January 4th, probably at midnight. And it will only last for about 24 hours. So make sure you order it if you want the bragging rights to say you've been a listener since day one.
Well, Romaine, I told them it would be a secret URL and that we would announce it on the air.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, yes, and that's what it's going to be.
Yes. And so it will be up from 5 p.m. Eastern time on Monday the 4th until 5 p.m. Eastern time on Tuesday the 5th.
Okay, that works.
And that is it. And then it will be gone, baby, gone.
Gone.
So you have to be a first day person in order to be able to order the shirt. All right, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, lady. I got to get into my pajamas for this holiday trolley.
Okay, have fun.
And I will, I'll talk to Romaine tomorrow. And the rest of you, if you have any problems subscribing or any issues with our website, click on the Need Help button and we will get you some help. Yeah. All right, there you go. Thanks so much. We appreciate you supporting us and subscribing and watching this video that I promised was going to be short, and it was long anyway. You know me. I can't keep it short.
Nope.
All right. Bye.